Hey everybody, welcome. Wait a minute. What the fuck? With the release of the new Lion King remake, there has been a lot of nostalgia opening up for a lot of people. However, there have been a lot of re-torn wounds as well. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about that age-old bout between Kimba and Simba. Now, we've heard this argument so many damn times, I admit it's tiring, especially since I happen to be a fan of both series. So I'm not here to argue that Disney stole from Tezuka, no. I'm here to answer the question that's been asked a million times yet never answered. And since nobody else will do it, I'll have to do it myself. And answer the question, who would beat who in a fight? Kimba or Simba? Now, before we begin, let me just say, if the two characters met, I don't believe they would actually fight to the death, or even at all. Instead, it's very likely they'd be very welcoming and compassionate towards one another. Young Kimba would most likely offer the orphaned Simba a place in Bajalu, and I'm sure Simba would accept. And even as adults, the odds of confrontation are almost non-existent. But then again, that's not what you angsty weebs are here to see, is it? No, so let's begin! Now, lions are tough SOBs. The average lion stands at 3'6" at the shoulder, weighs in at about 400 pounds, and has a bite force of 1,000 psi. They can reach 50 miles an hour and are masters at working as a team to bring down the kill. But even on their own, lions are known to take on crocodiles, bears, elephants, and other powerful beasts, and even win. However, Kimba and Simba are not normal lions. Each shows obvious above normal intelligence and has their own unique quirks and features. Let's start with Simba. Simba is the son of Mufasa and the reigning king of the Pride Lands. I'm not sure where exactly that is, but seeing as how Kilimanjaro is in close proximity, it's safe to assume the Pride Lands lay well within Tanzania in East Africa, making Simba a Maasai lion. Maasais are a subspecies distinguishable by their moderate size, long, powerful legs, and full, wind-swept manes. At a young age, Simba lost his father and was ultimately chased from his homeland. He then spent the next few years presumably living lazily with Timon and Pumbaa in relative peace. He's eventually found by his childhood friend Nala and the wise yet strange Rafiki, who he returns to his home with to defeat his uncle and to reclaim the throne. Totally Shakespearean. Now, I'm going to be blunt with you guys. Right off the bat, Simba isn't the most impressive combatant. First of all, he's fairly small for a Maasai. Actually, he's kind of short for a lion in general. If meerkats are about a foot in length, then we can use Timon as a rather accurate ruler here, and see that Simba is only about 2'9". Bear in mind, most lions are well over 3 feet at the shoulder alone, and his body length is only about 4 to 5 feet in length, compared to the average 6 to 8 feet. So we see he has a bit of a disadvantage in size. However, even as an adult, due to his shorter dimensions, Simba is both agile and resilient. He can bob and weave in a dense jungle climate, when, mind you, lions don't typically live in the jungle. And he displays rather impressive climbing skills when lions are horrible climbers. However, this only helps him should he wish to run from the fight. Simba is also wildly inexperienced when it comes to combat. He is beaten with relative ease by Nala upon their reunion, and only narrowly beats Scar by chance in both the original film and the 2019 remake. There also isn't a whole lot of conflict in the Pride Lands, so even well into his reign, Simba lacks much real practice. It doesn't take long for Zira and her outsiders to overpower the Pride and absolutely bitch-slap Simba a good 7 feet. If Kiara and Kovu hadn't shown up, it's very likely Simba may not have even survived that battle. We also see, early on, Simba's trauma and guilt caused a ton of conflict for him. Despite this, though, he shows courage, bravery, and even goes on to face his destiny. He even grows to become a wise and fully capable leader. So even though he may not be that powerful, he's still smart and has the will and overall moxie to take on any challenge. In the right environment, it wouldn't be difficult for him to secure a victory. Now, Kimba, or Leo, is a different lion altogether. Kimba lost his father before he was even born, and then lost his mother soon after. He then swims across the ocean, gets rescued by humans, learns some of their ways, and then is returned to Africa, where he then attempts to teach the animals of his father's kingdom a more peaceful and civilized lifestyle. Leo is an absolute and literal beast, standing at almost 4 feet at the shoulder and being about 7 to 9 feet in total length. He dwarfs Simba by almost half. White lions are an actual subspecies of lion that come in varying degrees of white and or pale coloring depending on region, which helps them blend in with more sandy or desert climate. Kimba is descended from along an ancient line of white lions that are basically magic, due to a magic potion given to them by an Egyptian priest. Because, you know, Egyptian magic is just so safe. Kimba and his ancestors exhibit incredible intelligence, strength, speed, and wisdom. Due to this, Kimba exhibits some ridiculous abilities. Most lions can jump vertically at about 12 feet, but Leo can leap almost twice that, as well as jump from a waterfall that is at least 150 feet and land perfectly unscathed. And as a combatant, his experience also outweighs Simba's by a ridiculous margin. As a cub, Kimba could take on much older and stronger foes with little to no difficulty whatsoever. And even as an adult, he's fought damn near everything from saber-toothed cats to freaking kaiju. But what else can you expect from an anime, right? And it's safe to say, Kimba's strength is impossibly impressive as well. In a scene from the Jungle Emperor movie, Leo takes on the full force of a freaking elephant stepping on his face! A lion's neck can probably only resist about 2,000 to 3,000 pounds of force before breaking. And a full-grown African elephant bull can step with well over 54,000 pounds of force, making Leo's body 18 times more durable than a typical lion's. Except against knives, or guns, or demon cat fangs. But Leo is not without his faults as well. Though he is the Captain America of cartoon lions, he is a very trusting and naive individual. Even in adulthood, his short temper and trust in total strangers lands him in hot water all too often. Kimba will not hesitate to sacrifice himself for his friends and allies, even going as far as to kill himself so a human he barely knew could eat him to survive. Jeez Louise, at this point I'd say he's more like the Jesus of lions. But I think Aslan already has that title. Anyway, looking at these stats, and considering what we actually know about these two great kings, I think it's clear that if they were to actually fight to the death, ultimately Kimba would win. I have no doubts that Simba would keep up with Kimba and roll with the punches for a time, but in the end, he'd likely be torn apart. As a matter of fact, I imagine it would look something like this. So, for the sake of the old argument of Kimba versus Simba, I'd have to say Kimba wins. He's faster, stronger, and far more resilient. And his overall experience leaves Simba so far in the dust, Simba might as well send his son Kion to face Leo. At least then, his little Fusro Da trick might give him a chance. But let's face it, if Kimba and Simba really met, they'd be the absolute best of friends. They're both kind and wise kings who value the peace between the animals in their respective kingdoms, as well as are good fathers and caring husbands. They both value the lives of others more than their own, and their names rhyme! Who wouldn't get along? I'm not sure if this satisfies the rivalry out there. But if you would like to learn more about Kimba the White Lion, might I recommend the channel Kimba's Kingdom by Bud Charles. On his channel, you'll connect with other Kimba fans about all things Kimba the White Lion, and see things from the perspective of a guy who does much better research than myself, and learn about one of television's most charming and influential franchises. As for me, I'm the Alistair. I hope you enjoyed my video. Like and subscribe if my nonsense ranting is your fancy, and I'll see you next time.